I recognized that I was doing things to do them rather than because I enjoyed doing them. I talk a lot on this inputs only philosophy, this inputs only approach. And I like having an end point, saying I'm going to do this thing because I know this is where I'm going to get to. Well, the thing is, if I'm pointing to somewhere where I want to get to, and the reason I want to get there is because of something that I feel I lack today, that means I'm not moving in alignment. That means I'm moving towards scarcity. I'm moving towards lack of something. The inputs only philosophy is that if you focus on what you can do today, what's the input you can do today, and how are you aligned in that? If I come here and I can get lit up by this podcast with you, that's in alignment. If I did that every single day in alignment, I would get somewhere, whether I set out to get somewhere or not, but it would be an aligned outcome. Tried to shift away from having this need to get somewhere philosophy to a what are the things I can do every single day, concurrently, consecutively, and consistently that will get me somewhere without having to know what the destination is. I got one of the things that my mom, I credit it to her, but I think it was my own distillation over the years, was that intensity is great for a moment in time, but consistency is what gets you across the line. In my life, there have been a lot of times where I'm really good at going from 0 to 90. That last 10%, I'm like, I'm not interested anymore. I'm going to drop off and go do this thing. It's why I've lived so many lives, so to speak. But the current life phase that I'm in is that I want to eke out that last 10%. And I want to see something through to the point where it becomes extraordinary, not just good or great. I'm analytical, but I lead with my gut. The difference for me is balancing the macro rather than the micro. If you are attached to checking whatever wearable device that you have is the first thing that you do in the morning, the last thing you do before you go to sleep, you're approaching it through a lens that will ultimately lead to failure. If you are approaching it through the lens of saying, this is going to track me 24/7, 365, and it's going to give me trend lines over time. Because you go to the gym for a day, you don't see results. You go to the gym for a week, you don't see results. You go to the gym for a month, you don't see results. But you go for 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you start to see things change. If I was saying, let's do your blood work today and tomorrow, great. It's not going to change much. There's not going to be much that's going to show you. But if you do every 3 months or every 6 months, now you're starting to see trends over time. And that's actually where you get the most important data.